bro.
Dudes, so okay, I watched this movie last night, right? And I like probably you guys have been inundated the past few years with it's astonishing the shit that people are putting on us, expecting us to believe it, and people do, and this is frustrating beyond belief. Well, was there a moment where you're like, "Oh fuck, we got a story, guys, we got a story"?
I mean, it feels like there was a million moments where we've just been watching this like erosion of like shame in this country. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm not Puritan. I'm not like you should be ashamed, but like there should be a baseline of shame for behavior. And it just feels like that line is more and more just kind of sinking. And so Dave and I have always been attracted to that world of kind of grifters and people who kind of operate in the fringes a little bit. And it's the golden age for that. It's just there's on it's not just in politics, in wellness and in entertainment and in cooking. And there's just so many people now as capitalism just keeps collapsing on itself. People are just trying to find new ways to get money from each other now. And so I don't know if there was one point where we read something and we're like, we have to do this, but it did just kind of
Yeah.
slowly form out of that primordial ooze that we've all been just kind of walking around in for the last 10 years or so. That's like,
Oh, God. Totally true, David.
And just to add to that, like, and
Please.
since we finished the movie and we did post and then we sold it and we started doing the schedule,
Yeah.
it's incredible. I think kind of what you were like hitting on in your question was how many things have happened in our culture that I would just text Ike and be like, oh my God, like the movie is like movie's more poignant now than it was 3 weeks ago. No, the movie's more realistic now than it was 6 weeks ago. It just like our this is it just we just keep heading in the direction the movie I think kind of it is about.
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I mean, well, look, it's so, and I gotta give credit to you, Ike, because this is it's hard to make a performance like this real. It's hard to come across as not cartoonish, but I believed it. I believed every moment. Did you? Was there someone you were like, oh, okay, oh yeah, the My Pillow guy. Yeah, we know what we're. Or was there someone you inspired this?
Oh yeah, there was a whole cast of people that have infected my brain in the last, yeah, like basically since 2015. There's, when we first kind of started talking about the story, we knew that we really wanted to tell a older guy, younger guy story. We think there's something very funny about older dudes who attach themselves to younger guys to try to feel kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like an uncle nephew relationship a little bit. So there was a lot of kind of people that I kind of looked at, a lot of people who were, I think, kind of laying like in political spaces, like yeah, like Mike Lindell, Matt Gaetz, Jacob Wool, that girl who goes everywhere with an M16, all these kind of just characters that have been in the flotsam and jetsam of my life and the media atmosphere just kind of slowly permeating my brain and Dave's brain. We just started kind of being like, let's think of versions of this and show just kind of basically everyone in the movie is a little shit, except for like our hero journalist and like a political candidate. Everyone else is just kind of like really trying to steal money from someone else.
Yeah, yeah. Well, David, with you, how do you go about deciding? Because there's moments in this that are just golden, and there's little moments like the snoring sequence, the these little moments of dialogue. Just I it had me laughing so hard. How do you find the right moments to have them looking in the camera? How breaking the fourth wall? How do you find that?
Looking to the camera, we kind of discovered early on in shooting that was a great way to establish that everyone knows the camera's there. It's a documentary, and like everyone can give a little nervous look to the camera and then keep going. And then the moments like the snoring, Ike and I, we're from Chicago. Ike's done 8,000 improv shows. I've watched improv. I've been a set writer on the Mindy Project. So there was a lot of like adding stuff on the day. We're both used to it. So but we're also just, I'm kind of an uptight writer at heart, probably. So we always get the story. We get the scene kind of basically as it is. You don't have to say it word for word. Make it your own, especially in a mockumentary where you want it to sound natural. But then, like this snoring, we just we shot the scene of like it's the night before the big press event, and then that just came to I don't know, it came to Ike, or he's having a glass of red wine. So what do you? Well, it's 10:30 at night. He's a middle-aged guy drinking wine. He's gonna get
Gonna fall
sleepy.
asleep.
And let's see where this goes. Like make it snoring loud. There were so many days where like we shot the movie in COVID. I just had tears like pouring into my COVID mask, like behind the monitors, because like Ike and Dylan or whoever was on set that day was being so funny. And that was one of those scenes where like we just like had to like get that scene where Dylan could keep it together while Ike snored long enough to to have a button on the moment.
He was having some difficulty not laughing. Like he was struck because it was like, first of all, the sad truth is that the snores that I was making in that movie are very close to the snores I make in real life, which is just awful. And so he was having some difficulty keeping his shit together during the shooting of that scene.
Dude, I feel you. I went through that years ago. It's gone now, but
it takes time.
Yeah, well, I lost a lot of weight, so that helped a lot with me.
Yes.
Thank you.
I take the hint. All right, I'm gonna have a light lunch today. I'm gonna have a light lunch.
He started eating well. That's what I was saying to you.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I heard you, and I'm going to try my best.
Yeah, Ike, you need to eat. I changed my diet completely, and it changed my life completely.
I honestly, my wife is like literally, she's like, we need to figure this out because we have a giant black lab who snores just as loud as me, and she's like, one of you is going to have to make a life change, and he's a dog, so it's you. So we're working on that. And that's my next project I'm working on.
It's a good project. Good project. No, let's talk Dylan, man. I love Dylan. I think he's one of the nicest guys. I love this guy, and just as a person, he's a great, nice, one of the sweetest people. Yeah. Oh my god, he's so fucking funny in this.
So funny. He's so funny. We were fans of his, and I think Dave and I, when we were kind of writing the character of Simon, I think at first we had like a slightly different kind of energy for him, where he was a little more kind of nervous, I would say, and a little more fidgety. But we always had Dylan's face in our mind when we were writing it. And then when we first hung out with him, we just spent a few hours talking about the character and stuff. And the way he was just kind of doing it, which was kind of different than how we envisioned it. It was very bro-y and very kind of like gym focused fitness guy, but also incredibly confident and incredibly dumb. We were just like, this is better than what we had envisioned. So we should just capture this, because he was, like you said, so fun.
Well, he always chooses really interesting projects too, and this is such an interesting project. Is it a risky project for you guys? Did you feel like, okay, we're making this movie, we know we're gonna piss off some people, obviously, especially in nowadays you can't make a fucking movie about a bear loving a friend without pissing somebody off.
Yeah.
So
yes,
was there fear, or were you just like, I don't care?
I think that first and foremost, we just want to make a comedy that people liked. We didn't want to be preachy. Is there a message in there? Yes. It's not that it's not very hidden. It's, we're talking about bad faith provocateurs who will say anything for fame and money. And we see a lot of that. And it's nothing new. Like Mark Twain talked about it 200 years ago, but now with social media, it's more in your face. And with the division of people where they get their news from, there is a place where you can do something bad, but some people will say it's okay, right? It used to be there was one version of the truth. And if it just pisses people off, I think that we've made the movie so it's hopefully so neutral in its obviousness that if it pisses people off, well, then maybe they're looking in the mirror.
If you're pissed after watching this movie, you're a psychopath. Yeah. Like there's no you know what I mean? That means you're someone who's like, I don't like the way they were talking about my kind of people.
Yeah. They're making fun of grifters.
Yeah. But we were just like, let's just have as much fun as possible. And God bless QC picks and momentum for just like getting it and being like, yeah, just go crazy, go nuts. You know what I mean? Like, no checks, and yeah, they let us just go really kind of wild with it, which is, I think, the right way to tell this type of story. You just have to lean into everyone's greed and oafishness, I think.
Yeah, and it's also like I stand by, like, I one of my favorite things to watch is the Karen videos. Like, and you talk
Oh
about the
yeah.
mental decline, and I feel like with these grifters, with these people that we're just facing this mental illness. I don't know what's going on. It feels like we're facing some kind of mental illness problem. Why do people believe these guys? Why do I mean, I honestly, I'm just curious why you think people fall for this shit.
Um, but I do obviously think people are just more partisan than they were. Like, we're more dug in on our side. So if someone's on your side and they're saying something you want to hear, even if it's not the truth, you're more prone to believe them. But I do think the sad reality is, for a lot of people who are the victims of guys like this, I think a lot of it is loneliness. I think a lot of it is human connection. And if you're someone who, let's just say you're someone who has just been for years now watching like Fox News nonstop, and your brain is just kind of, you're just, all you think about now is how the libs are destroying this country. Maybe you're not talking to your kids as much as you used to because you are now obsessed with this world. And then you see two people in that world saying the things you want to hear, and they're like, come see us, come talk to us, let's become friends online. That yearning for connection is going to lead to a lot of people becoming susceptible to guys like this, who are, at the end of the day, like, the scene to me that kind of is like the whole movie in essence is when they have the big fundraiser, and he's like giving a speech, and he's like, so the reason we're here is because we need money, and everyone kind of is like, ugh. Like, that's what this is. It's all like one big, multi-level marketing. It's like thousands of people trying to sell their version of Amway to each other, but instead of Amway, it's like Trump coins or food buckets. You know what I mean? Armageddon vests and shit. So yeah, it really is this huge infrastructure that's been created over the last 10 years or so, where it's just people just kind of feeding off each other.
Yeah, everyone at that fundraiser is there because they want something. Most people there, I think, probably just wanted a free meal. But like,
Yeah.
The Tia Surkar character, she's there to pump her own like YouTube channel and podcast. And Kiernan Shipka with the machine gun, she's there to pump her own brand. And everyone is just out for themselves.
Yeah.
I love the inclusion of her, by the way. That was pretty golden. And you also have one that I don't want to spoil it, because you have one of the best cameos I've ever seen in a film.
Can you say who it is?
If you're okay. Yeah, Seth Rogen. I mean, that's,
oh yeah.
Oh my god, that was such a shock, because the lead up, the cut, one of the best transitions I've ever seen.
Oh,
nice.
God
Yeah.
bless you,
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah, when we were first kind of conceiving that, like, the whole Lincoln thing, we were like, oh, it'd be so funny if Seth Lincoln was producing a play about Lincoln and his lover.
Yeah.
And Seth, of course, we were very lucky to like really have people in mind for these parts. And just throughout the whole process, people were like, oh yeah, I'm in town, I'd love to spend a couple days with you guys. And Seth was kind enough to do that. So we want that to be a nice little pop when the people first watch the movie. You're just like, whoa, what's happening?
Well, I love the fact that you guys have, because I don't watch a lot of TV, but I love the Mindy Project. That was a show that I actually connected to. Do you this is we're gonna I just gotta check up, we gotta wrap up, but pretty soon. But is that still that connection? Is that why you guys are still working together and still finding that, wow, this is like a family? Because I just feel that watching you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we've been friends for 35 years, and we've been like making each other like laugh at stupid shit for so long. But I do think the Mindy Project was the first time we were doing it together professionally and getting to incorporate other people in it. And like, when someone tells me on the street, like, they quote a Mindy Project line, I remember that day and how hard Dave and I and Mindy were laughing. We're always chasing that feeling. And because that's, like, to me, the best feeling in the world is when you're doing like you're shooting comedy and you cannot stop laughing. Like you're like almost ruining the take because you're laughing. Like that is such a high that I'm always chasing. And we got to feel moments like that in this, like bringing Beth Grant in to come in and spend 2 days with us and have her just every time she talks, her dentures are about to fall out of her mouth. Like it was just like we were just kind of fall right back into like, oh my God, it's 2013 again, and we're just stupid idiots just making each other laugh. So it is like I think something that we're always trying to find that vibe. We're always chasing that vibe.
Nice. Well, guys, you made a really wonderful movie, and please tell Dylan I said hi. JimmyO says hi.
I will.
You guys are great.
You're
This
the
was
best, brother.
Ah, you guys are
Thank
rock.
you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
talking
much.
to us, man. We
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Anytime, any freaking time.
We're gonna take you up on that one.
Yeah.
Please do. Please do. All right,
No
guys.
doubt.
Thanks a lot.
See you soon, man.
Bye, guys.